Sir in the back.
Senator Dallaire, you challenged...
Nice tie.
Thank you very much. Yours isn't too bad either. We'll compare later.
Save the children.
We'll compare later. You challenged the young people out there to get their boots dirty. What do you want them to do? Do you actually want them to go travel for a year? How can they take that challenge and do something with it?
It's sneaking up on us, which seems to be of our era. We seem to be stumbling into things versus being led into them. We still stumbled into the post-Cold War era with all these conflicts. We stumbled into these complex humanitarian catastrophes. We stumbled into these economic scenarios that seem to always catch us by surprise. So we don't seem to be leading in this. We always seem to be reacting, if not crisis managing, and stumbling. So what is interesting is there is a bit of an embryo of a social change in the youth, where we're seeing now more and more youth, instead of going to Europe to visit London and Paris and Vienna, they're going to Kinshasa, Accra, Bujumbura, Pretoria, and so on. They're going to South America, into Peru, and into Chile, and so on. And that is the tip of the iceberg of this era. There is so much more for them to see and do and to learn about humanity in those countries than in looking at how people were abused and building great palaces and stuff. Those things will always be there in Europe. That's not the problem. But to change humanity, that is sort of a sense. Why? Because they don't seem to be constrained by the classic Eurocentric borders that we used to have. And they can see the world. The web has permitted them to go into a context of no borders. And so why not go to South America? The question is, what do you do with that? And so what I argue is that once you have seen and heard and felt and tasted and lived among the 80% of humanity that's living in inhuman conditions, we of the 20% of the halves, the youth will come back, and that will be the pilot light for them to significantly change our perspective of how we see humanity and how our role as a leading middle power will be. And so it can be a week, it could be 3 weeks, it could be a month, it could be 2 months. Pick a developing country, fly in, go knock on an NGO door and say, I'm here for a week, you got some work you want me to do. And just live it, and taste it, and smell it, and sense it, what's going on there. And that, with having your boots dirtied, you don't say in downtown, the capital, you move around, you bring those dirty boots back home, and you make those a trophy of your rite of passage in advancing this great democracy of ours into the future.